Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game, my dear guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening to Christmas Eve edition of A Gamer's Thoughts. Christmas on YouTube, but Christmas Eve for Anchor and other podcasting platforms. I did not expect that there would be the most weird news for gaming to happen today, and that's that the KFConsole is a thing. I'm like, what? Like, why does KFC need a game console? Now, I'm I'm just gonna go over what I've read so far, and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna. Okay, this thing sounds ridiculous. I'm just just gonna put it out there. This thing sounds ridiculous, but it's supposed to be running games at 4K at 240 frames per second. Okay, that sounds expensive already. And then on top of it, this thing is supposed to keep your chicken warm with a built-in tray. I don't know if anybody's told them, but heat and computer parts aren't friends. And if you want a machine that's running 4K, 240 frames per second, and displaying at 240 hertz, that's going to be a hot box. Now, I get that would be how they're keeping the chicken warm. And possibly because they have vents on the top of it to allow the heat out. And it looks like they do have a fan in there. This just don't sound like a good idea to me. Okay. And I don't know who told them about graphics cards, but ASUS is not a graphics card manufacturer. They are a distributor. So they have their version of someone else's graphics card, like a lot of other tech companies. Because like this is one of the lines that kind of threw me off. It says, "Discover a level of gameplay you didn't know possible with ASUS powered graphics that runs buttery smooth." Okay. That doesn't tell us which graphics card it is. That really doesn't. That just tells us that you bought off-the-shelf parts, which is fine. But this still doesn't tell us which graphics card it is, because if I remember correctly, ASUS has a version of NVIDIA's GPUs and a version of AMD's. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe that they do distribute both of them. So, in a first of its kind swappable GPU slot, the KFConsole will stay the most powerful console for generations to come. So that means there is a legit form factor that it serves. So which one? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Now, somebody can correct me if I am completely wrong and talking out my ass here. But I'm pretty sure ASUS is only really a distributor. They're not the developers of GPUs. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't remember hearing anything about ASUS ever working on making their own GPU. And they have an i9, a Core i9 processor in it. Doesn't really say which one it is, but they have a Core i9 in there. And you have two 1 terabyte Seagate SSDs. Hold on, why two? Why two 1 terabyte SSDs instead of just one 2 terabyte SSD? Why do that? And it doesn't really say anything about the RAM or anything in there. So I have no idea how that's gonna pan out, but it would have to have a high amount of RAM for them to keep up these promises. And what they showed for the picture doesn't look like, I mean, it looks like one is an SSD and the other is a hard drive. So maybe they have a hard drive and an SSD in there, or whoever took these pictures or decided to pick pictures doesn't really know much about what they're doing. Says it's VR ready, has ray tracing, 4K gaming, and power your hunger. But there's nothing about a damn price on this thing. Nothing. I see no pricing. I hear a lot of fluff, and I see no pricing. Now, I really hope this thing is not legit. People are saying it's real, but I'm hoping this is not legit. Because this is a bad thing. Like, you got CNN, Tom's Guide, Tech Radar, Engadget, Games Radar, Tom's Hardware, and many others talking about this KFC system. Okay. This thing, it sounds like a very expensive device. 2, obviously it's going to run hot in some way. 3, is going to have a lot of power consumption for the parts that they are saying is in it and the capabilities it's supposed to have. 4, they're trying to etch a major spot in the console market, and that might not be possible. I mean, it's a possibility under the right circumstances, but I would not expect KFC to be the company to do it. Now, this will be an extreme novelty item if it is real. Like, I see so much stuff talking about it being real and specs and price. Oh, hold on. There's one that has prices on there. Hold on. Let me see. I'm looking at Collider right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, how much is the price of the console? I see the prices of all the parts, which lead up to an extremely pricey console if we look at the individual prices of the parts, but they more than likely bulk bought everything. And this didn't even say anything about an actual price. It just says what they think a potential price is going to be, and that's like $2,000. Don't put that in your title if you don't actually have the actual legit price of the damn thing. And we don't, like, there's so much that's just sitting out in the open for this thing. I'm like, nah, bro, this is not a good idea. This is just not a good idea. I mean, if they put this out, that would be one thing. But I really don't see anything good coming of this. I really don't. I'm trying to see if I can find the price at all. There's so much says it could cost. It could cost. I see nothing that gives you a legit price on it. Gosh, I don't see anything that legitimately says a price point on this thing. But outside of like extreme enthusiasts, this is likely to tank. Look, you don't want to put a gaming device on the market without the possibility of actually making some money off of it, even if you take a hit at the beginning. It's just a dumb concept. And that's from people who know nothing about the industry jumping in. That's what that is. It's somebody saying, oh, well, this is popular. Let me go ahead and release something myself. And I'm going to do everything to make everything else sound like it's useless in comparison. That's exactly what this is. Like, this sounds more like a customizable PC shell than an actual game console. Which, if they promoted it as that and sold the shells separately, unless you put your own parts in, they probably make a lot of money off of it. But there's a lot of things that I guess they just looked at and said, hey, we can make bank here because gaming is very popular. I'm sorry, but like, even people in the industry fail at doing things right all the time. And you can't just jump out and say, hey, we're just going to throw this ham-fisted device out here for you. Oddly enough, it does actually look pretty cool for a bucket. But it's like a horrible idea. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm like you announced this thing, all these parts is supposedly hundreds and thousands of dollars individually, which likely, again, they bulk bought them. They probably got them for like a quarter of the price. But still, there is no damn way that I can see this thing being below $700. That's minimum. Unless they are planning on taking a massive hit. And they don't have anything to say, anything about any games that are coming. None of that. It's just, oh, here's the device. We can't show you any footage of it running anything. We're just going to do that. This is like, I want to say the launching of this thing is like worse than what the Ouya was. And the Ouya was pretty bad. Mostly because they got kind of shit on by the rest of the industry. But Ouya did a better job of producing at least something that was working. Even though they had their struggles. This KFC thing, I do not understand how that's going to work. I really don't. I really, truly don't. But hey, that's what they sold themselves on. It's the lot that they decided to play. So hey, go ahead. Let's see what hand that they can show us. I mean, I'm honestly, speculatively, I'm negative towards this. But hey, if they do something cool with it and they actually surprise the hell out of me, I will eat those words happily. I'll proudly eat that crow. But until then, it's all speculation and just guesswork. And well, if anybody's known my record, I do have a pretty decent track record in that department. But I'm going to call this to an end because I've had too much fun ragging on this. But again, if there's anything that I'm incorrect on, for anybody that follows me, that knows my stuff, that follows tech, please give me some corrections. But outside of that, thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.